So this one I did, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, what everybody else was using in their Boulder tournaments, which is why I kind of like the fact that ours are at the end of the month. It gives me that prep time to really dig in and find out what I want to do. Use a calculator, like spreadsheet a little bit, just kind of figure out, once I knew what I wanted to use, which of my existing already caught Pokemon would be the best options for those. But yeah, I'm a visual learner, right? So YouTube videos I find are the best for me.
I've read way too much and worked on I've got my like recipe cards with Pokemon on them, and I've looked at a lot of matchups on simming sites, so I'm pretty prepared. But again, I just feel like a lot of it's up to who chooses right in pulling out the first Mon that can beat the other Mon.
I've got a pretty good, pretty much a good Skarmory Breloom sort of cord, and in the first tournament I had done, I noticed a couple Pokemon that usually are pretty good at countering Skarmory gave me some general trouble. So instead of having some just like general, like more like a Steel type focus, had a more like balanced focus between Steel, Fighting, and Ground sort of types. So I kind of focus in on having Marshtomp, and hopefully Poliwrath will do some good today. I've seen some Poliwrath do some pretty interesting things, so hopefully that'll work tonight to kind of help counter the fire weaknesses that can tend to get Skarmory.
Luck. All luck.
I feel like I've got a good team together, and I've been reading Reddit all the time, and I know what I want to use. The thing I'm concerned about is like choosing the right first Mon against whatever they have. I feel like if people have an exploitable team that can't beat something I have, then it's easy, but other than that, it just feels a little bit like rock, paper, scissors, so we'll see.
I've only gone against maybe 2 or 3 people here before, in the previous 2-3 tournaments that I've done. The original B-Web, he is a tough opponent to beat. I have not gone against Sensationalist yet, but I have seen his record, and there are a few people that I know from North Burnaby, so maybe they'll have something to bring as well.
Well, I'm up to battle anybody. There's a lot of new people I haven't met yet, and I'm really excited to battle them. But I remember, I think I was one of the first people to hand Sensationalist one of his defeats in that first tournament I won. So hopefully we'll get another. He's looking forward to having another friendly round against me.
I feel like just with the PvP, a lot of it's about choosing the right team, and so maybe someone's non-meta team will come out and be a surprise, and just throw me off a little bit, and won't be prepared for it. So anyone could be a threat. I'm not taking anyone for granted.
I think it went really well. I think everyone, for starters, was well behaved. There was no tantrums. People all came here to have a good time and have, with good spirits. So playing fair and making sure that people were ready, helping each other with technical things like restarting their phone or how to do a battle code. Straightforward stuff. It was very friendly and chummy.
I did okay today. I won 3 out of 5. So not as good as I was expecting, but I also wasn't trying as hard as I normally would. But
Shields. I notice a lot of people waste their shields in the first 2 charge moves that they receive. I feel that's probably the biggest difference between the people who make it into the 3rd and 4th or later rounds versus the people who kind of lose their first 2.
I've noticed that timing of the shields can be key, especially with the guys who were in the finale. One technique they used is to stall. Let the other opponent just keep hammering their phone, hitting the attack button, while they think about the shields for a while, and they wait for the timer to count down, and then they hit the shield. They're not rushing into doing their next Pokemon selection. They're not rushing into the shield decision. And they're clicking away from that hot area down at the bottom where they would hit a button for the charge move or hit a button accidentally because they're hammering the screen to turn on accepted shield move.
in this tournament I learned your shields are super important in how you use them, and knowing the type matchups, right? So knowing if you can take that avalanche hit or if you need to shield it, right? So I assumed I could take it and still get my charge attack off, and obviously it didn't work out, right? So yeah, I'd say those are two key learnings from today, where your shield usage and when you use it, and then knowing your type matchups and what opponents' moves could be. So for today's tournament, probably 200,000 to 300,000. So far for all PvP battles, I'm up to 700,000-800,000 dust spent. So, but I think for this event specifically, it's about 2 to 3.
Probably about 30,000. I was very, I didn't want to spend it. I want to save my Stardust.
I'll have to do quick math for a second. I think it was 600,000 roughly. Yeah, although with the late additions that I did, they might have rounded out to 800,000 Stardust. I haven't done like the exact tally, just kind of judging based on how big the digits went down after a bit. Luckily, before I did all that investment, I had about 4 million, like 4.2 million Stardust at that point. So I'm pretty set, I'm pretty invested for a while, and I've I used to have like a plan just to kind of put Stardust anywhere because it wasn't really a PvP sort of deal. But now with PvP, I'm definitely noticing I'm saving a lot of my Stardust and only really using it to kind of invest in even Great and Ultra, even Master League sort of situations.
800,000? I've tested a lot of things back and forth, powered up a lot of things, gotten new moves for almost like 20 different things just to test out.
I will only spend Stardust on tournaments if there's a Pokemon I love and that I really want to use that one. Otherwise, no, I'm going to go with 0. I'm having fun doing this and I don't need to be the best. I'm happy playing in the bottom and middle.
Yeah, definitely plan for more time than you're expecting. Tournaments take about an hour. Whether it's 3 rounds, 4 rounds, or 5 rounds, you're looking at about an hour playtime or more, depending on how many rounds. But also leaving yourself that extra half an hour to 40 minutes for registration, especially for the first one or your first couple. You're going to have people that are showing up for the first time, they don't know how to use the system, don't know how to register, they're not ready for it. They might not have understood the rules when they were coming in. So for the monthly cups, for example, there's only certain types you're allowed to use. So they're going to do some last minute power-ups and really sort through their team and decide what they want to use. So the first couple we ran, we were planning on registration for 15 minutes, everybody sit down and dump your teams in and then we'll go. And then those were turning into 40, 45 minute registration periods, and then we were finally starting battles. So my recommendation for anybody starting out: plan more time than you think you'll need. So.